Representative Ileana Ross-Leighton was the chair of the House Foreign Affairs Committee back in 2011, and she joins us now. And until recently, she had not spoken out publicly about the classified talks. Congresswoman, welcome. Great to have you here today. Let's talk for a moment about what's at play. Take us back to 2011. The White House wanted to make this happen back then, but the big difference, members of Congress pushed back, saying the release of those Taliban detainees was simply too high a price to pay. Do you believe that this time the White House bypassed Congress because it wanted no pushback this time around?
Well, that is an excellent question. Why the secrecy and why the urgency? And the White House has spun two different stories on that. The first few days it was because his health had deteriorated to such an extent that his very life was in danger. They're no longer spinning that tale because all the indications are that he may have had some difficulties health-wise, but his health does not look like he's knocking on death's door. Now the president, in an interview, is spinning a new tale, saying that a lot of this negotiations had to be dealt with in secret, and he was afraid of congressional leaks. Well, the reality is that we had this classified briefing, as you pointed out, in 2011. No one spoke about it. There were no leaks about it. The only leaks that were being done are from the administration, and what they were saying is that, oh, we've been briefing members all along, and that's why after the reports came out, where they themselves leaked, that's when a lot of us who were at that classified briefing said, boy, the story they're telling is totally untrue. The ranking members, that's the top Democrats, and the chairman of the pertinent committees were invited to this briefing with all members of the intelligence community telling us why they had to do this deal. And most of us there said, no way, we should not be doing that in exchange for Taliban.
How hard was the pushback back in 2011 for members of Congress?
I don't want to speak for the Democrats, and I hope that you have some of those ranking members there, but I know from the Republican side, from Speaker Boehner on down, the ones who were there, and it was not a big classified briefing. It's just the chairs and the top Democrats of maybe 5 or 6 committees, and I was chair, as you pointed out, of the Foreign Affairs Committee. We were clear. We were emphatic. We said there is no way that we should be trading this soldier's life for exchange for Taliban detainees, because I think that this is a backhanded attempt by the administration to eventually get to his dream, which is to close Guantanamo. But just think of what a price we're paying. It's every armed forces official there, every soldier, airman will have a price tag on his back, because the Taliban will know, hey, we want those guys freed from Gitmo also. For every soldier we get 5 of our guys out of Guantanamo. It's wrong on national security, it's wrong for foreign policy initiatives, and it's wrong as a precedent for future actions in closing Guantanamo and closing Afghanistan.
You were saying you don't want to speak for the Democrats, but Dianne Feinstein has already publicly said that she does not see that there was a credible threat. She wasn't convinced that there is a threat about his health, about Bergdahl's health. And also back in 2011, Leon Panetta, who was Defense Secretary and former CIA Director, he's also gone on the record saying he had real problems about the possible release of Bergdahl in exchange for those 5 Taliban criminals who are staying in Gitmo. So that's coming from a Democrat, a high-profile Democrat, and a former member of the White House, who referring specifically saying that this was not the right deal to make.
Right, it was not the right deal then. They voiced their concerns. So why the change? That's the big question. What happened in that White House? What happened to the intelligence officials who then felt no need to continue to brief members of Congress? They did not follow the law. 30 days they're mandated to give Congress before anyone is released from Guantanamo. So not only did they do this in secret, not only did they not consult with Congress, but they violated the law, which specifically states that we need to be notified. And I think this bodes very badly for the rest of the Obama administration. He cannot continue to do his foreign policy on the backs of the American people and say, your opinion and those of your elected representatives don't matter. I am the state, and I will decide what is best for the country. That's a dangerous, slippery slope for us in national security.
All right, Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your insights. Let's bring back Amy Kellogg, who's standing by live in